friends, I'm Ashley. This is Sleeping Books, and today I'm going to be reading books about murderous women. So I just had a want to read a book about murderous women. I don't know where the want came from. It happened. It's here. I did it, and I read Sadie and two different books called Phallus Fair. I wasn't intending to read the one Phallus Fair's book, but when I looked up Phallus Fair, obviously the other one came up, and it said something about hunting, and I was like, is this another book where a woman murders people? You'll find out. It's fine. Let's get into the vlog portion of this video. So it says 42 minutes into Sadie. It's already sad. I mean, of course this is going to be sad. If you don't know what Sadie is, it's a book about a girl and she looks for the guy who killed her younger sister, while simultaneously there is a podcast element to the book where it's in the future and Sadie's car has been found, but Sadie's been missing for 3 months, and he's like trying to follow the footsteps Sadie took to when she went missing, like before she went missing. And it's very interesting. I really am enjoying the audiobook because, like I said, there's like a podcast element to it, so it seems like a podcast, but then in Sadie's perspective, you know, it's like a regular book. Also, I already have a theory about who did it. Like right at the beginning, the podcast guy, he interviews people around the town Sadie and her sister lived, and he's interviewing people who are like maybe close to the case, and he interviewed the guy who called 911, and like I think it might be him, because he was like, when I called 911, I just couldn't look away. Like I had to sit there and watch the guys come and take the body out. Like it was the way he said it, it was just it was gross. So he's on my suspect list for sure. Also, yeah, I did just get out of the shower, okay? Like, I wanted to update, otherwise I was gonna forget that I needed to update. Like I said, I'm 41 minutes into it and I didn't even realize I was that far, So I'm almost halfway through Sadie. I no longer think it was that guy that called 911. It quickly changed what I thought the story was going, but it's very interesting. I don't know how to talk about it. Really sad. It's really messed up. And the one most interesting thing about this story is that, like, we're getting Sadie's perspective of what she did in leading up to her disappearance. And the interviewer guy, or the podcast guy, when he interviews people, they kind of give like a different perspective, you know? Like this one guy took her in a back alley and she was just trying to get information. He's like, this information is gonna pay. And as he was taking his pants down, she took a switchblade out and was like, give me that information and maybe you can keep your life. And like, the interviewer guy found the guy from the alley, and the guy from the alley was like, I'm gonna charge her for assault because she assaulted me. Like, you weren't trying to assault her first, but okay. Like, it's just very interesting. Everyone always has like a weird different tune. They want to sound better than they are when they're with the interviewer guy. Just like how everyone's always like, oh, it's a teenage girl, they disappear all the time, they run away all the time. And it's just like, how do you know? Also, at the beginning of the book, they found her car with all of her possessions just sitting there. Like, if she ran away, she would have her car and like at least a change of clothes. Like, she didn't run away. Like, something interesting is happening. I don't know. So I just finished Sadie. That was very sad, and I freaking hate open endings like that. I don't even know what to say about it. Like, it was a good story. It was a very good audiobook because it's like meant to be listened to. But I hate open endings. I hate open endings. Oh my god. Like, even if the ending is super, super, super sad, at least the things are like closed and you know what's happened. I just, like, it's heavily implied what happened, but it's still like, oh, it could be something else. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah? Oh, wow. Wow. Bro, you're not gonna do nothing? Huh? Yeah. No, good. Well, get her. You gotta make her play. She don't want to play right now. Look at that face. That is not a happy face. That is not. That's a happy face. Yes, that's a happy face. But that is not a happy face. Hello, friends. Today is a new day, and last night I forgot to vlog me reading the novella Phallus by Chantal Halpin. I don't know, the image should be right here or something. So I obviously started reading this because I searched Phallus, the one that I intended to read, you know, and I was like, oh, another witch one. It's supposed to be like about hunting, and like maybe it'll be about a murderous woman as well. It was interesting. The main character was a witch who didn't have strong magical powers, but she had like superhuman strength. And there was a witch hunter, and they were like they were like investigating this vampire that was being blackmailed. It was a lot for like 50 pages. Like, there was a lot going on. There was a lot being said. The way the female character talked about this Latinx man was really uncomfortable. But yeah, I read it. It's done. I didn't give it a rating. If I did give it a rating, 1 star, I guess. But I am about to start the real Phallus that I planned to read, and I'm excited. I've heard like both it's really good and also it's like strange. Like, the writing is strange, so who knows how I'm gonna feel about it, but obviously I will keep you updated. So if you don't know what Phallus is about, it's about a girl. She gets roofied and sexually assaulted at a party, and her and her coven, the 4 of them, go out to murder these boys that were involved. Right now, the main character has switched schools to be at the high school that the boys are at, and it's just like really good. Like, I do understand what people are talking about the writing. It's not flowery, but it's like descriptive in a way that's interesting. I don't know how to describe it, honestly. It's like the main character was talking about how she was running and she couldn't stop running, and she was saying my wings were behind me and I was floating, and like, obviously, like, she didn't have wings and she wasn't floating, but it's like how it was described. I guess it is kind of flowery, but yeah, I can see why people don't like it, because it's like they'll describe something, like one thing, with 10 different words, like, so it's like a little extra, but I am enjoying it quite a bit. So I'm about halfway through Phallus, and it is reminding me so much of Heather's, except like the girl is a guy and the guy is a girl. Like, the main female character, she's like, we should kill them, and then the guy's like, like, do we have to? Like, so her plan was she infiltrated the school and then she started dating like the nicest guy out of all of them, and she's like manipulating him to like kill all of his friends for her, and it's just like, it's so funny. Oh my goodness, it's just like, it's good, honestly. It's just good. Like, it's a fun time. So right now, my favorite thing about this book might be the parents of the main character, because they like know that she's killing people, and they're like, so that boy that died on the news, interesting. And the mom's like, yeah, interesting. And the daughter's like, yeah, interesting. Like, they know. And then like the dad will sit outside the daughter's room because she can't sleep very well, and it's just like really sweet, and they're just like so okay with their daughter murdering all these boys. Like, I love it. So that was the journey. I hope you enjoyed. I had a lot of fun, even though some of these themes in these books are quite dark. Sadie was honestly an amazing experience. I don't feel like I expressed how much I loved reading or listening to that book. I just couldn't even do anything else. I was listening to an audiobook, just staring at my ceiling, because if I did anything else, I just felt like I was doing a disservice to the audiobook, and that's never happened before when I've listened to an audiobook. Like, I just couldn't stop listening, and I just like sat there for hours on end listening to this book doing nothing. Like, I can't explain to you. I just can't explain to you how much I loved that book. Also, Sadie has a stutter, and I don't think I mentioned that either. And it's very interesting to see the struggle she has just getting information that she needs to try and find her sister's killer, and like the way she has to navigate the world because of her stutter. I have not read any Own Voices reviews on Sadie. The way where I thought it was accurate is how people treated her more than anything, more than like how she dealt with it. The way it was very frustrating reading how people reacted to her stutter. But yeah, it was an amazing book. 5 out of 5 stars. It was good. It was just good. Like, you should really listen to it. If you have never read an audiobook before, pick up Sadie. So I'm going to talk about that novella Phallosphere. Again, it was fine. It was weird. And that's it. Like, that's it. It was like an urban fantasy that I just didn't understand. And I feel like I always understand urban fantasies. You have no idea how much that upset me. That I like just didn't get what was happening. But yeah, it was... I didn't give it a rating because it was just like 50 pages of gibberish, but what can you do? And then we're going to talk about the wonderful Phallosphere that I set out, that made this video possible. I'll probably never get over this book, and I just found out the same author that wrote this Phallosphere is writing a protagonist as a villain and a love interest as a villain for her next book, and I am so excited about it. Like, if I trust an author to do that, she's gonna do it, and she's gonna do it well. But yeah, for all of these books, well, not the novella, I don't know, but for both of these books, Sadie and Phallosphere, trigger warnings for sexual assault. It's not in graphic detail, but it's definitely like, you feel it, you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but... and murder. A lot of knives, a lot of manipulation. There's quite a few scenes in Sadie that I was almost on the verge of tears. I didn't actually cry, but I was very close. So just be aware of that. But I had a really fun time, and I definitely plan on doing this again. There are a few books on my radar that are like kind of like this, where they're murderous females, feminine fatales, if you will. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this end of this video, and I'm gonna go sleep because I sleep when I'm not in front of the camera. Bye!